Well, I know this on my camera to work right.
This way, Linda.
Oh, there you go.
All right, we're going to get started, and I know I don't need this, but here it is anyway. All right, we're going to get started, and I know I don't need this, but here it is anyway. All right, now. I'm glad y'all came out. I didn't expect a whole great crowd, but I'm glad that everybody came that did. I know the meeting's going to start, but I want us to review our challenge, which for February, since it's love, supposedly, the challenge was for us to do hearts. And the main thing is how did you do that? This is not a competition. I did it better than you, but how did you do that? That's what we are supposed to be here, so I can pick your brains. And so for your hearts, if you want to start, you can, Kevin, because you tried many times and then you finally were successful.
You got it. You start out making trash like this. And then you refine, got flats on top of it from the face of the blank. And what I finally figured out after making two like this, that I was turning too much on the outside of it, not leaving enough for me to turn back further and get rid of this. So it's just kind of one of them trial and errors, but this is what it should look like. Nice, smooth, round.
Can you turn it this way, so?
Yeah. I put these on the bandsaw and saw the blank out, heart shape, and didn't turn it on the lathe. One of my other problems was I was trying to figure out where to sit. Okay, so I put this up against my table saw rip fence, measured out to this point, and went to the center, put it on the lathe, and it was a ½ inch out of truth. Okay, so then I figured out I'm working on a triangle. Once I measured here, come in, and put that center in. Then I was within less than 16 nails on this point. So I was satisfied with that. But you just, this one's, these three are made out of four, made out of blocks of Sam, one of our members here, has got some of this wood to be harvested. That's where I got that. Then this one was seeded.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the information as far as turning too much and all that. But okay, Larry, did you do a couple? Okay, explain what you did, man.
Well, I made a pattern on paper just with a compass, and then I laid the pattern on the blank and cut it out on the bandsaw, and put it on a lathe and turned it. And actually, turning it wasn't the problem. My wife is a sucker for red, and she hasn't seen this yet. And I've got lots of unexplained time that she doesn't know yet. But this is red for her. I had a horrible time getting that. My shop is in a metal barn, and it's cold. I've got a wood stove that works fine if it's 40 above. But as you know, it's been much lower than that. So I finally got an auxiliary propane heater to let me work out there.
Could you raise the red one up? Show it. Just put it over your work.
So this one was finished today. Finally got the paint close to right. It's not my favorite shade of red, but I think it'll do the job.
Thank you for that. I love the depth of it that you've left for the foot where you're, oh, and he's personalized
I
it.
actually,
Cindy, you are my Valentine. Oh,
she'll
oh, love it. Love it. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, the mortise is. Well, I'm sorry. Explain your heart, man. Yeah, what the wife don't know won't hurt her.
Okay, I cut the heart out, maple. 2 pieces, glued them together. Then I put a flat piece of walnut on the bottom. So Lisa took one of her little slivers off her heart making thing. She put it in the bottom, and then I piece of walnut, poured it with epoxy. And I got my tenon back, and then I turned it down again.
That's a pink gold powder that you mix in the pigment and epoxy.
You can grab your flowers out for a second.
What did you say?
Thank you.
He said crappy flower.
This is a glue up. It's supposed to kind of resemble a heart, but I couldn't get that cut down like I wanted it. But I started out with a square board, cut it on an angle, glued it back together. That's where you get your points. So that's walnut and maple. And then drill the big hole in the middle of it.
Denise.
For you, I did a pen. It's wood dyed pink, and it's laser cut. And then I cast it in epoxy that's white and pearls, and then turned it.
Love it.
Time
I
out.
love it.
Wait. How do you glue, how do you attach all those little hearts in a row?
They're laser cut into the wood, and then I poured epoxy into the holes.
What? That's cheap, isn't it?
No, that's resourceful. John. That's all right. You know how he is. Watch it, Grace.
Thanks for this. This is very helpful. I don't know, counterweight. Hickory bowl, and my granddaughter come up with, oh, you've got to use these, a bag of little heart things. I don't, go to a dollar store somewhere. I said, oh, cool, all right. So I did. Made a little trough and stuck them in, poured some epoxy, and it's lasted a couple of years now, and it hasn't been thrown away, so that's good. That's a plus. That's a plus.
Can you do a little banner for me?
Oh, please, it'd be my pleasure. Yeah, hold the heart up proper. There. Ta-da. Also, I brought in, and my wife, of course, says, after I already put it in the bag, to take it. This is a wedding bowl. It has nothing to do with hearts, but I wasn't thinking when I put it in the bag, so I brought it. So you got to listen to it. A wedding bowl is a metaphor for two people that come together. The lines on each side is their life trials and tests and challenges and good and bad, some in, some are outside. Lives come together and they travel the same path, get to know each other, and get to become joined at the wedding rings in the middle. Very symbolic, very cool. Yeah, and this is maple, and it's the first time I used the oil. What do you call it? Oil, not poly. Sure, we'll go with that. Vinegar. It was butcher block, waxy looks and stuff, and I like it, but this is really feels awful. It's one of these feel-good bowls, buddy. Oh, that is a trade secret. All right, I got a drill press, and I got a keyhole cutter, and I took the pilot screw out of the way, just carefully over the center point, shift it off to one side, press down, then shift it off to the other side of the center point, press down, and you get two concentric rings. And pour epoxy. Oh, the red, of course, is for passion, for love, for the one I had on hand. So it could, this, and it has no name on the bottom. So what I'm doing, I'm personalizing these, a little trade show for the Lucky Dad shop. Yeah, so put their name and dates on the bottom, and it's a neat gift. And you're right, it did take a while.
Okay, we saved the best for last. Okay, so not all love is wonderful and fantastic. So we have a mended heart. And that's the best I could do with this piece of awful wood. So sometimes love is a little challenging. And this was. Okay, and then on Pinterest, I've been doing a lot of Pinterest looking. I waste hours on Pinterest. And there's these doolollies that I drill a 2-inch hole all the way through, and that's my mortise. And I can do one side and then take it off and do the other side, and that's not quite right, and turn it back around, and that's not quite right, and it's still not quite right. So I quit, and then I cut it, and I said, okay, fine. And that's the one that he put in the bottom of this one. The first one I did was really off. I mean, way off. So I decided, okay, that's a butterfly. And then I wanted to do a shamrock, and I have decided that dead. Should you be so lucky. The tool you use to do separated rings, I think would give me a much better shape. And if you're going for perfection, which I'm not, I prefer flying by the seat of my pants, so to speak. But perfection is the CNC. And I am far from perfect. So I would rather keep trying something like this as I would to turn out something perfect. I want it to be human flawed a little bit. But sometimes I abuse the privilege. And then I had been watching, because it snowed and I was stuck. So I've been making all these flowers. And I had so much fun with them. And I can tell you how I turned them, but then I have to kill you. Anyway, thank you for all of everybody's participation in Next month will be something different. But anyway, do we know what happened to this yet? Are we still recording with sound without it? Okay. All right, so on with our meeting. It's time for it to start. Well, no, this is just the channel. Okay. All right, so February 3rd, thank you for coming. We had any guests? I don't think so. But we have 2 new members, Larry Huff and then Colleen Butler, which she wasn't able to come this evening either. But anyway, we have 2 new members. Are we live? It's like it's there, but it's not. It's crazy. Okay. Well, anyway, Tony Shipley did the demonstration at Lumber and Craft on the 15th. That was phenomenal. Everybody that got to come, that man, he said, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I asked you, but man, he's got more knowledge in his little finger than I'll ever aspire to have. That, he's a genius. So I was really thankful to him for that. And if he were here, he would get all that. But anyway, this past week, we were able to have a partnership with the AR and that CD, Appalachian Resource Conservation and Development. And we donated 10 birdhouses, which I realized our birdhouses that we donated are not turned. That's flat work, I get that. However, right now they are doing restoration on streams, on the banks, where the trees and everything got washed away, just gone. So they're doing this restoration for the creek banks and stuff. And as they go across properties, they're going to donate the birdhouses to the property owners so we can get our habitat back where it should be, even though they've lost, a bunch of trees. So this is our newest partnership. So we have Lumber and Craft, we have Barber Theater, and now we have the ARCD. C&D. Anyway, so that's something that we are doing, and they will let me know when they need more. We donated 10. As they have need, they will get in touch with us. Whomever decides they want to take a turn making them, the club will supply the cedar planks and the plan for doing it. Okay. Okay. And now we are going to do our Instagram. So, Jeff, you're up. Is it not? No. Talk loud. We might need a new microphone. Yeah, it's on.
Yes.
It's on, but you can't.
This one's not coming out.
So I had this idea last year that I was going to take the Craftsman's Fair in October. That was a total failure. I had 5 proof of concepts and none of them worked. So the concept is, it looks like a normal order. Right? What I've actually done, of course you did. So the idea is, originally, was that this was going to be a memory one. Put a note in it next year, put a note in it, keep doing it.
Testing.
So from a love perspective, you could put a ring inside. But anyway, it's turning into this particular one. I had trouble getting the threads to hold in what I was doing. So someone had said, try segmented segments. And I thought I'd give that a shot. And,
No.
so it has 162 pieces of wood in it. And it holds the threads pretty good. They're not perfect, but they're not bad. It comes back together. Nobody has. So anyway, that's on my repertoire for this year. Yeah, I've got 2 of them right now. It's the best of the 2. The other one, I've been doing the center segment with the threads separate, gluing it into the ornament instead of doing all this messing it up. But when I glued in the other ring, it's not exactly centered. So when you unscrew it, it's little drunk, but not terrible. This one's not. So anyway, that's my idea. We'll see how it goes.
It's going to be a little time consuming, don't you think?
It is a little time consuming and it's not going to be cheap. So, there will not be. I think my goal is to have 10. And besides the segment, I may try some different wood. The other that I did last year was solid wood. And I just had the grain orientation on it. Anyway, I had trouble with this. And so I'm going to try some more solid woods because this is very much. Anyway. Absolutely. And like I said, if you want to call it a memory worm or a gift box, I don't care as long as you give me the money. She's actually going to put velvet purple on the bottom of this one. Yes. So she's bought some brown for walnuts and whatnot. So the bottom of the gift box / memory ornament section will be velvet loom. So anyway, that's my idea. We'll see. That one, she fussed at me immediately because the maple that I picked, turns out the maple, there's 2 different color maples. And I didn't know it until I was too far down the road.
You'll have to talk up because
I'll have the mic for the recording or for the streaming. Back what? I forget. Sometime last year, we had some beech that we got, and I rough turned it, and then finally, after it dried, turned. Here's a small one. Came out pretty good. This one I really like, except there is a bark inclusion in it, and I'll live with that. This one will not be sold because my wife immediately said that was hers. So she gets to keep it. Yeah.
yes. Okay. Now, who have we got? Well, try and use this so we can hear on the streaming, okay? Closer to you. It'll pick up.
Big boy voice. I'll use both. How about that? Nothing spectacular tonight, just ordinary things. I love doing natural edge. This was a piece of weeping cherry that was harvested in North Carolina with one of my wife's family members. I've had it in the shop for about over 10 years. It didn't crack. None of the pieces I got cracked. I have no idea why not, because typically cherry is notorious for cracking just as soon as you cut it. It's one of the worst, but none of these pieces, that's what makes it kind of unusual. I was very lucky in that I got my rings pretty centered on this one. That's not that's a challenge for me to get them centered. And I'll oh, good. All right, that's good. You want me to turn this off first? All right, let's try this. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Is that working? Oh, that sounds better. I can. I'll lay down this challenge for you. There's one place on here on the rim where the bark flew off, and I touched it up. I want to see if you can find it. I was really happy the way it turned out. Anyway, this is just a piece of walnut, nothing special. I'm pretty sure it's black walnut. I don't have many pieces of that. I love turning walnut. It's just an ordinary bow. Nothing spectacular about it whatsoever. I was going to also point out that the bottom of this one, if you looked at it closely, you would see it's got some sanding marks and some finish. It is not smooth. I forgot what finish I put on the bottom first time around and put a different one on, and I had to sand it off, and I ended up messing up the first layer. So that's one example of keeping records. Who was I talking to? Phil. I think Phil said he does the same thing I do, keep records of what I put on there so I know. Next time I'll do better.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now this is my first attempt at, this one was an offset turning, and it was green. I had somebody in here, and it's been a couple of years, that they turned them, I mean, just thread thin stems. And then it was that you could see the light through the top of this little flower. gorgeous. I don't know who that was, but anyway, I'm trying. And this one is a poppy seed pod. I was going for kind of like a dried flower arrangement look. It'll get there eventually. But anyway, these are my attempts, and I stopped just before I decide I'm just going to chuck it. And I thought, okay, I will show them, and they will say, Lisa, try it this way. So I am a left-handed turner in a right-handed world, and it really sucks a lot sometimes. So anyway, any pointers will be helpful. Hi, Isaac. Okay, and who? Jerry, yeah, I knew I saw you come in with something.
It's just a little twice turned natural edge maple. It was a huge maple. A neighbor cut it down, but about 50% of the center of it was rotten. So that's about out of a big tree like that little pieces was. But it ended up being some pretty nice maple. But it's twice turned. So.
Very good. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Okay, did we get everybody? All right, now we've got the guy that owns the sawmill that's going to come up here and show us how to do something. Kevin, it is your 15 minutes of fame, or hour and a half, whatever it is you need.
This is going to be the first turn. And like that block, down in that blade there, that's how I'm going to turn. We'll start out with 8. Second round, where I set the block on, check up on this, and turn the dish. And if anybody has any suggestions for sanding this tree, these two are just a couple that are finishing right after that round. Check up on this. Well, I found it in my shop. You know, every once in a while, it's one little thing that's laying around for like 20 years. You don't have no idea where it comes from. But it's like a piece of foam rubber that has abrasive on the surface. It's kind of stiff. It's not as hard to start. And that looks really good. This thing laying around like this basically you have no idea how it in. But it's like a piece of drill a round 2-inch round tips. And sand the inside. The bottom is just hand done. What I could do on the lathe, and of course when I cut it. 25. I don't think turn a little box or middle. And that, see that dance for 5 minutes, I can't think how okay. And then, and you know, if you notice these ones that fit, the bottoms are domed out. Okay. This is what happens when you don't do that. You look right there, there's a hole all the way through. That's how thin it is. I felt it click and went, oh, stop it right there. I mean, you can't. One of the things that we should figure out.
Would you do me a favor before you come back in?
Yeah.
You stand right up there and just show the block.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what we're going to start out. All right. And as we're mounted in blade, this thing's going to turn. And then the first turning, this is what we're going to come up with. And then after I do that, cut this off. Then I can check up in here and actually turn the dish. And then I'll go back and I do what I do. I would forget something. I forgot my jam chucks to go in here so I could turn the bottom.
Thank you.
They might have a jam check. I've got a lot of wood.
Well, considering I don't know what the heck you're talking about, no, I don't have one.
Did a jam challenge.
I was busy looking for tools.
I start out on this thing with a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. I find it a little easier to make this cut in the middle. How we mounted it?
Yeah.
Okay, I put it. My life center has center pieces that come out. So I can put a cup center in it. I can put a regular center in it. I've got a small center like that. I've got a piece here that goes in it that's actually got threads in it, so you can bolt something on. You can put a machine screw on one end and wood screw on the other and use it for a screw check. You can put this thing, I mean, it's kind of crazy what all, because this is number 2 Morse taper, so I can actually put that in the chuck head and bolt something into it or that screw. I've got a big cup that goes in it. If I want to turn these larger, I can put that in there. This thing's crazy, all the pieces. But I put these in here, and I come up and touch it very loose. I don't put much pressure on it. And I put my thumb up here, and I rotate that around to see if those points are straight. And that one's within about 3/32 of an inch, and that's as close as I can get from these things. And I do the same on this side, and I check my points to see if they're lined up, and then just having a loose fit in there, I can move that block in these centers, and then tighten it up. And then as I get my adjustments right, then I crank this down pretty hard. This thing, before I'm done, I'll probably have to tighten this up 3 or 4 or 5 times. Because I'll snag it, it'll spin. Once it does that, I can't even touch it, it'll spin. So I have to go back and tighten it up again. And it just, it's kind of, it sounds like it's really difficult, but you'll find out it's like a 30-minute job to do this. If I don't stop and talk.
You got her snugged down?
I got it. Now, how do I turn this lathe on? Nobody's told me that. Pull the red knob out. And that's it. I started in this middle. People see how it's just. And I'm going to work that center down. And it's like I said, this thing, you'll find.
Yeah. See, it'll be 32 minutes.
Yeah, probably. I thought it'd be my fault.
Trust me, it'd be mine.
Yeah,
We got it?
but you
You're good.
come in and cut. And as I'm trying to teach my students in my class is to watch the horizon.
Hold on, we lost it again.
Okay. I've got it on this TV screen. You got it? This one's not focused. Sorry. Yeah. Want to turn that off? No. That's what's close. How's that? Good? Yay or nay? Okay.
Tell you to stop.
Well, every now and then I have to stop and look and see where I'm at. A little rough on that side, so I need to. Still getting a lot of tear out on that one. That block of wood's gonna fight me all the way. And you know, all the test ones I did, I had really good grain in them.
Used to that.
And I didn't have any problems, and now it's like, this is a piece of cherry. Now, I'm working at making it tender. This is going to be the bottom of the block. And that piece of wood is really tearing. Yeah, I'm thinking it must be really dry.
Wouldn't find this much.
Look at that. Okay. If I have any questions, yell at me. Sometimes I get concentrating on what I'm doing, I forget that I'm trying to teach them. There's my problem. There's a turn there.
So are you turning the tin right now?
Yep. Actually, I'm past the tenon. I've got my tenon out here, right there. And when I get done, this will be the domed part on the underside.
What would you?
With what?
The gauge.
This is my tenon diameter. Okay?
Got it turned up to 772 RPM. Zero.
Yeah. Get real close. Yep, there it went. And that's how you break one. Yep. Turn the chunk right out. This is where things get hairy. I'm lazy. I don't like using the saw. The saw that whole blank. Go down in here too deep. I might throw this whole thing out the window. I can't believe I forgot my James.
This is intermission.
Disappearing. I break another point off and we'll get some. And
Do you still have anything in the original flat size from the block you started with?
these,
Oh,
yeah. So you're gonna end up with 6 sides.
I can't visualize that.
Well, what? I feel like
This one's.
you know what they say. Just as soon as you get up, teach something or show something about how. That's what this stuff. I should have, when I done that, I should have just turned those points away and made it. I got a couple other shift places. But that gives you an idea. I mean, hopefully you understand we took a bowl that had 6 corners, and 2 of them got turned away here at the end. Instead of having 8 quarters, now I've only got 6 quarters. I hope that's clear as mud. If it is, it's a lot better than what I thought. But you see all these come out, starting out with 8 quarters. And just like this piece of wood, and that's why I do part of the mold where again, step up to the next one down there where I cut it off. And go in and turn this way and make my dish. And it's inside there, and then the one with the mold box in it, turn it down if I got it around. And then work my way back to the point, turn the point off. They go in and make the box inside. But it's I don't know, I seen this 3 points at the pedestal. Okay, that's why I started turning these, and I couldn't find any. Now, probably doesn't have some. But I'm turning this thing one day and looking at this going, no, let's leave all 6 points and turning these one. And I went down there and started turning and come up with this. And like I said, this is probably my 3rd one. And I trying to dish it out. This, the dish needs to start out here. And then when I come in with this, that's the integrating spot right there. It's got a hole in it. I felt the top. I felt the chisel on my foot. I pulled back and figured out the way. And yeah, there it is. It's to me, it's one of the things you start at.
So you have to start with a cube.
And you want them sawed as close to perfect as possible. The closer you get that cube, the easier it'll be when I get it on the lathe to line up these 6 points. And I'm not so much worried about position as I am distance. So when I hold my finger up there on the rest, I'm looking at how close my thumb that is. And the next one is like an 1/8 inch off, and this is 16th, and I can move before I clamp down. Because once you cut these grooves, and there's no move. It's just, it is what it is. But I don't know. I was turning one. Like magic. Absolutely. But but that, to me, that right there kind of explains these 2 points is going to turn. And then I started making this bottom part a little more pronounced. Did a little shading to it. And what I would do at this point, so I've got that dish down, I would take a wooden jam tip. Okay, I turn that to fit whatever shape I turn inside this. Put that on there, come back. Now you can't mark your center. You got to put that. They have no way to hold it. So you just got to come back in that center and just touch it. Enough to hold it in place and rotate it with the hand. Try to spin it here. Rotate it with the hand wheel and see the turn of the turn. Make adjustments. Once you get it closed, then you can go ahead and turn the top. My biggest problem is, I've got center. Turn it down as close as I can. Then go in and sand that way, cut it off, something. My biggest problem is now it's sanding. That irregular shape, can't do anything on the blade. Go in here and try to sand it. Yeah, sometimes they do. You cut them off. But yeah, I was working on my lathe 2 or 3 months ago. And I just felt a little tick. And I thought, well, I pulled away, bumped that check. Went on turn. Looked down here and I've got blood running off my finger. Man, I mean, it's like that finger up and I touched it. It just got me right there. Do I? Stuff that's brittle, like this dried out piece of cherry. If that cherry had a little more moisture, this one turned great. I mean, it's got a little tear out. I haven't even went in and done, I mean, I'll go in and do a finished skin cut. I'll get rid of most of that. But that piece there, and then you know what I found out? You can have RPM. I cranked that RPM up about double what I was turning. And 90% of it went away. I have all of those box elder hearts, and they didn't warp a bit. Those are turned in the last 2 to 3 weeks. If it's going to move, it should already be on the trail to it. And none of them have moved. And they were so wet that I was getting sprayed, turned.
You drive it.
When I got done, the red part of it, water was just running out. It was that way. And I was thinking, wow, this is going to distort and move and do all kinds of crazy things, and maybe them pedals will kind of curve and then move a bit. So there's no rhyme or reason. I have not yet turned one of these through.
That'd be interesting.
It could be. And it's 3-point legs, so no matter what it does, it'll still sit.
Right. Yeah, that's what Richard said. I always do three. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just push it in and see.
Yeah, on doing the end of it. That's what I do is I'll cut down to where I dare to. That's going to depend on what type of move. This fall it made it turn. I have not had any problem with it getting sand. Rough and soft. Down to sand that off or sand it down a little bit and take a carver because I'm sure that it get nice and smooth with that. I yet do not remember turning that one with the box, that piece of walnut. I did.
Sad,
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember yesterday. The bad problem, now I'll tell myself, the bad problem of it is when I was dating my wife, 18 years old, it was 3 months before I could remember her name. I kept going and asking my buddy, what's that girl's name? Dave. And she married me, and she knew it. She found it out. He went and told her.
You're supposed to remember?
Huh?
You're supposed to remember?
What?
Oh, really?
Maybe not.
I just go, huh?
Yeah, sort of. I have one topic. Who among us likes to turn spindles? A matching set of 4 spindles. John, you've been volunteering.
We heard.
Spindle.
Can you handle 29-inch long? I'll pass this information on to you. He's from Connecticut. He's moved to Greenville. He before cut or something, so I will put you in contact and you all.
Guess what?
Okay. All right, thank you.
It goes right through the center of it.
Anything coming up, Denise, is there anything anybody needs to be made aware of as far as Tennessee Craft? Anybody got any announcements? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, thank you. You're-
But no, it's- Teamwork. I don't do it.